What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Power Book to Go Season 3, Episode 9. Now, the episode leaked a week early, and I'm still a week late, but we here, child. So, the episode started off with, we had Tariq racing down to Davis's office, and we have Kane on the phone calling Davis, wanting to know where Davis is, letting Davis know, look, Effie done got, roped up, whatever. So, of course, the two guys, they meet up at the office, and they get to having a who's bigger match. You know what I'm saying? Kane blaming Tariq for everything bad that happened. Tariq said, you always been jealous of me. That's why you're messing with my ex-girl. I peeped it. And he was like, oh, well, somebody had to do it. And next thing you know, they get to fighting. Davis comes in there, and Davis is like, whoa, what the hell? Kane lets Davis know what's going on with Effie. He said, fine, I'm on my way down there. I'll deal with it. And, of course, Kane don't know what happened with Davis and his brother and with Sax. But, of course, he doesn't care. Now, the other thing we hear as we're coming into this episode, we hear Sax on a voicemail basically saying, if you're listening to this, and that means I'm dead. And I put some things in provision in case this happened, and, now that I'm gone, I don't have to worry about repercussions. I don't have to worry about, how this affects. I can basically leave a trail of tears in my wake. Now, listen. This is what I'm going to say. This episode is going to probably be out of order. Y'all have already looked at it anyway. It doesn't matter. But for the rest of this episode, we see that Sax has randomly sent out these letters and left these letters with this information, not always the most accurate depiction of what went down. And so, of course, it is causing a ripple effect of situations in Tariq's life. Like, it's all about disrupting what Tariq got going on. This whole episode is about everybody going to be mad at Tariq, right? All arrows are starting to point at Tariq. So Tariq is talking to Davis, and Davis Davis discloses to Tariq about the report that Monet got, and and he was like, of course, Davis has the report. Now, he does have it hidden. He's got it hidden in a private little area, but he's got the key under the mat on his desk. Like, if I'm going into somebody's desk, if I'm going into somebody's office and I'm looking for a key to open up a drawer, that is obviously one of the first places I'm going to look. Like, I'm being honest with y'all. That is one of the first places that I'm going to look. It's like looking under the mat at somebody's front door looking for the spare key. Who still leaves the spare key under their mat on their front door? Who does that? So anyway, Tariq, a 19, 20-year-old, is going to do a better job of handling this file than you did. That's what we're led to believe here. And of course, that file is the dynamite stick that sets everything off as far as Monet is concerned, because Tariq, because he's so smart, he figured out that this must be what made Monet kill Lorenzo. It's a whole situation. Now, down at the precinct, Effie ain't talking. She wants to see a lawyer. Davis goes down to see her, and she was like, I don't want to talk to you. No, I'm sorry, not Davis. Well, Davis does go down there. She won't talk to Davis because she says, I'm waiting for my lawyer, but they won't let me make a phone call. And they're basically preventing her from using the phone. Because, of course, what did she call them? The Rico sisters tried to talk to her, and she was like, I'm not talking to you. I want my lawyer. I'm not flipping. I'm not talking. Leave me alone. Don't come at me no more. Don't approach me no more. I'm not going to talk. So then Kane gets desperate, and Kane dresses up like an attorney. Like, there should be facial recognition that when he walks in the police station, it should just already set off an alert that he's there. This man has been in so much trouble with the law. They should know he's there before he gets there. I don't know how he was able to get in there, and I don't know who thought he was anybody's lawyer, but all right then. But she won't talk to Kane either, and basically she's telling Kane to kiss her ass, okay? Kane's little feelings are hurt. But I understand where she's coming from, because she doesn't know who to trust at this point. Like, y'all literally just set her up a week ago. Not even that, y'all literally just set her up. And she doesn't know or believe that you didn't have anything to do with it. So why would she sit here and talk to you now? Because in her mind, this may all be a setup as well. I'm sure she's already figured out that Tariq must have known that Lauren was still alive. And she knows that Tariq had something to do with setting her up. There's no other way. I mean, hell, Brayden figured it out. And we know Brayden ain't that damn bright. But, hell, how else would Tariq have all of a sudden out of nowhere, y'all been chilling for the last however many months that Lauren's been gone, while all of a sudden when he wake up one day and just know that y'all were the ones that tried to kill her or that killed her. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that somehow Tariq knew that Lauren was still alive. Okay? So why would she talk to any of y'all? So the whole episode, we are waiting for her attorney to show up, who doesn't show up by the end of the episode, but we waiting. Now, while this is going on, the Rico sisters are down at the precinct. I mean, Jenny is warning Saxe because, of course, she treated him like what while they were alive, and they weren't even going to be together anymore. And, it's that shoulda, woulda, coulda. I did him wrong. I treated him like what, but, here I am kind of thing. Blanca is like, what we're not going to do is sit here and act like this was, like, we're not going to put him on no pedestal. What we are not going to do is put this man on no pedestal. He won't ish. He lost his job because of unethical things. And he was being like, he literally was doing something that could cost him his law license when he died. He was just doing it for us. Like, he still was living, crossing the lines. He was just doing it to benefit us. But what he was doing was wrong, right? He was violating client privilege, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other unethical things. So while this is going on, Brayden and Kane hook up. Now Kane is speeding towards Brayden. Brayden is standing there, and I'm sure he thought that Kane was just being Kane and he was playing around or whatever. But he hits Brayden with the door at full steam ahead, which of course knocks Brayden out and knocks him on his ass. Kane is like, he thinks that Brayden was the one that lied, that Brayden really didn't, like, that Brayden got Lauren out and that he knew that Lauren was alive. Brayden was like, I didn't know nothing about it. He was like, I told you what happened. I was going to do it. Effie rolled up on me. Last thing I saw was her and Effie leaving together. I never saw Lauren again. I don't know anything about Lauren being alive. And he was like, oh, well, she's alive because I saw her alive, and now they got Lauren. And he was like, you need to figure it out. Like, you need to fix it. I don't know what the hell he expects Brayden to do. In the meantime, Brayden is rolling around on the ground because he's so hurt because he hit them with that damn door. Now, the only thing I can think of is the rear view mirror hit him in the chest. I don't know. Because, I mean, I guess it could wind you, but I don't know how it would land you in the hospital. But Brayden is in the hospital, child. Now, before we get to Brayden in the hospital, Monet gets a letter from Saxe. And basically, in the letter from Saxe, he is pointing everything at Tariq. Tariq did this, Tariq did that. Tariq was a snitch, Tariq. And Monet was like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that Tariq, like, why would I believe Saxe? Like, Tariq and Brayden have a whole conversation about Brayden needing to get his ass out the hospital because he got to go make sure that his uncle is in check and everything going on with Weston Holdings is good, child. We'll get to Weston Holdings in a second. Now, while this is going on, Monet is down at the bar, and Guado's mama rolls up on her, and they end up having the showdown that I've been waiting for them to have for the last, 3 seasons. Now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little upset at how things went down with this, because I think this would have been, and I was talking to Retro CG over at TSF Entertainment, and we were saying the same thing. This would have been a great nemesis to Monet going into next season, but child, we'll get to that in a minute. But basically, she lets Monet know, look, Drew got this video that went viral where he's talking about, Gordo, like, what's going on with Gordo? I need to talk to Drew. And she tells her, she said, listen, I knew you killed Frank, okay? I knew that that's what you did. I knew you had killed Frank, and I let that roll, because I know business is business. And Monet was like, I didn't do nothing. I told you that was Lorenzo. She said, yeah, and conveniently, Lorenzo is gone, right? Conveniently, Lorenzo is gone. She said, so let me explain something to you. You know how this go. If Drew took care of my son, then I'm going to take care of Drew. And Monet was like, you threatening me? She was like, I'm just telling you what it is. So, of course, they had this whole situation. Now, so, while this is going on, so after that, after she leaves, Kane and Drew walking in, Monet's like, look, she know Drew, took care of Gordo. And y'all know that y'all know how this goes. She's not going to stop until she gets you. So then Drew was like, well, I'm going to have to take care of it. Like, it's my mess. I'm going to take care of it. She was like, whatever. He's like, I'm going to have to take all of them out, though. She was like, well, whatever you do, just make sure it don't come back on us. So what ends up happening is, I'm going to just skip ahead, child, and go ahead and tell y'all what happened with them. Basically, Drew and Kane create a gas leak and end up locking them inside of their diner. So that, of course, they're going to die from the carbon monoxide. But before they all are deceased, because the brothers were there, the mama was there and everything. But before they were all deceased, she lets Drew know, your mother killed your father. Like, I'm sorry that this happened like this, but your mama was the one that took care of Lorenzo. And of course, Drew was like, what? Now, I was surprised because I really thought Drew wasn't gonna say anything, but he told Kane. We'll get to the rest of that. But yeah, no, he didn't tell Kane first. He told Diana first. So Tariq goes to Nona's henchman and basically says, we need more time. Like, we got a lot of heat, we got a lot going on. We need a little extension. He was like, I promise, we'll get it paid. I just need a little bit more time. Now, he reluctantly accepts, but I don't think he really accepts. I think he's really trying to see what's going on. Like, they've done nothing to make us feel like they have any grace, right? So, I have never trusted him. I don't think he's as loyal to Nona as he's pretending like he is. So, I'm going to keep my eye on him, too. So, Tariq goes to talk to Tate. And Tate is telling him, look, I need more from you. Like, you're not helping me. He was like, I gave you a whole drug bust. He was like, well, it didn't go as far as I needed it to go, and I need more. And Tariq is like, listen, I don't have nothing more to give you. And but he needs these green cards because he did make a deal with Nona's man that he was like, look, Nona is powerful and my family gets in here through green cards. And so he was like, look, I can get you the green cards. So that's why he goes to Tate to get these green cards. And Tate was like, well, I need something from you. And he's asking him about Weston Holdings. He said, I'm hearing word on the street. Word on the curb is Weston Holdings ain't legit. And he was like, nah, they legit. Believe me. Of course, Tate doesn't. Next thing you know, we see Tate and his girlfriend talking to somebody from the FBI, FCC, the investigative reporter, some dude. And now all of a sudden they know that it's a Ponzi scheme. And I'm thinking to myself, now they have successfully been able to hide the fact that Weston Holdings is a Ponzi scheme all these years. All of a sudden, Tariq finds out and Braden finds out, and all of a sudden it's word on the street and rumors out there to the point where next thing you know, we got police officers rolling up into Weston Holdings, arresting people. Now, of course, the daddy didn't know nothing about it, which they told us that his father didn't know. Uncle is MIA. Kiki is sitting there looking stupid. And they're asking Kiki, did you know? The father is. And Kiki was like, no, I didn't know anything. And Brayden backed her up. Even though she was lying, right? Brayden backed her up. But again, that is so crazy that all of a sudden Tate, of all people, got his ear to the street and he heard, word on the curb is kind of thing. Sir, there's no word on this curb. How did you hear about it? That's just way too, I don't know. That's just way too, what for me. That's just too convenient, I guess, for lack of a better word. But anyway, the uncle is nowhere to be found, right? So Jenny gets a letter from Saxe, and again, of course, it's pointing all fingers towards Tariq and how dirty Tate is. So the Rico sisters confront Davis, because that's when he went down there to see Effie. They confront Davis, and they're right about what they're saying about how Davis slid a note to Diana, and how Diana must have known. They set him up. He must have found out that Saxe was an informant and double crossed him and set him up. Now, granted, Tate did do Davis did do all of that. But how do y'all put that in a report without saying where y'all got y'all information from? And there's nothing illegal about Davis sliding a note to his client if he's thinking that maybe she's being, listened to or surveyed or whatever. So he technically did not do. Well, I mean, we know he did illegal stuff, but in what the scenario that they're talking about, all they can talk about or really have any sort of proof on is him sliding her the note. Like, they don't really have any proof about anything else. Tariq and Brayden. Tariq is losing it because basically now that Western Holdings is under investigation, there's his trust fund because they weren't able to get the money out. Because remember, him and RJ had made a deal with the uncle that the uncle would slowly pay them their money and get their money out of the investment before anybody went to the FCC. And I'm sure RJ would have just held it over his head, for however long he wanted to hold it over his head. But it was in nobody's best interest for Tariq or RJ for this to become a public situation because now it's under investigation and Tariq ain't gonna never get his money, right? RJ is feeling the same way. He's calling Tariq and he is like, what the hell? What the hell? And what the hell again? Back over to the Weston house, they're trying to figure out how they're going to continue to live in the lap of luxury while under investigation and how the uncle was a piece of you-know-what. Now, the father is like, of course they're like, they did it to the Madoffs, they'll do it to us kind of thing. The father is like, look, we got to figure this out. I'm really not sure to the full extent. Like, I didn't know what my brother was doing. The police show up to take his dad down for questioning. And he tells, Brayden is like, Dad, you don't have to do this. And he was like, no. He was like, sometimes you got to take the hit. Sometimes you got to take the hit for everybody else, right? And I'm sure that was like a veiled little, statement to Brayden, which is why Brayden ends up doing what he did. Now, in the meantime, the uncle then called the police and snitched on Brayden, talking about, yeah, I know y'all are looking for me, and yeah, I might have stole a little bit of money, but you have a whole drug cartel operating down to Western Holdings, and I can give you that, and I know that y'all care way more about drugs than y'all care about this little bit of money I done stole, which is what he was banking on when him and Tariq and Brayden got into it before. He was like, look, white collar, sure. Drugs, you already know what the deal is. So of course it gets to the Rico sisters, child. And they agree that they're going to do business with the uncle. They're going to hear what the uncle has to say. See, because of course that's going to actually tie them into the Rico and help them get what it seems like they lost when they went to the warehouse and it was empty. So we see Kiki is trying to get out of town. Brayden is talking to her, telling her, look, now I don't even know how Kiki would even be allowed to leave town. I mean, I guess she's not going to legally leave town, but whatever. So next thing you know, we see Diana rolling up on Tariq because in the letter, Saxe made it seem like Tariq set everybody up, that he set Diana up by telling her to go to the roof, and he, was snitching on them. So Diana went to confront him. And Tariq was like, I didn't know it was a damn camera up there. Like, I haven't been up there in months. You came to me. I didn't go to you. I didn't make the suggestion. You came to me, and I told you where you could, I gave you a place to go. He was like, why would I set you up? Like, there's no purpose in that for me. Like, what are you talking about? And, I mean, does Diana believe him? I don't know. But at this point, child, we don't know. Diana be on this stuff. So Diana ends up doubling back and going into Tariq's room and searching his room. Now, what's she looking for? She don't know. I don't know. But I guess she's looking for anything to show that Tariq is an informant one way or the other. Either he is or he isn't, kind of thing. She finds the report because Tariq hid it under the mattress in his dorm with money. First of all, at this point, Tariq, you should have a safe. Like, it don't even have to be a fancy safe. You can go down to the damn Target and get you a safe. You keep way too much stuff in places where people can stumble across it. Why would you keep something this important under your damn mattress? That's just stupid. So, of course, Diana goes to Drew, and between the two of them, they figure it out. Because Drew got the information from old mama And Diana got the report showing that Lorenzo was down at the hangar. His fingerprint was at the hangar, and they done put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5, and decided that she must be the one that killed Lorenzo, which they were right about. They tell Kane, and they thought Kane was going to defend Monet, but Kane was like, nah, because she didn't believe Lorenzo's story. She never believed that the Guaps did it, because now he's going back to when she asked him about where he got the information from. So they decide they're gonna confront Monet. Now y'all have to know better than this. Y'all have to know better than to roll up on Monet like that. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Of course, Monet was like, "What are y'all talking about? How dare y'all come in my house? How dare y'all talk to me like this? Who the hell y'all think y'all talking to?" You know, kind of thing. So eventually Monet just snapped. Monet was like, "Look, he killed Zeke. What was I supposed to do?" And, Diana was like, "It was an accident." She said, "How you know it was an accident?" She said, "Your daddy didn't even want you in the house because he knew your nosy ass. And that's why he sent you to Stansville. He set you up to sell drugs. And now look at where your ass is. You about to get some charges." And then he told Drew, he set you up too. Because the dudes that jumped you, he did that. He set that up. So then next thing you know, Diana and Monet is arguing, and Diana, tried to lunge at Monet again like they was going to fight, like they was on the streets. Drew tried to hold her back, but she got the cussing, baby. It was a whole situation. It was like part 2 of the dinner party. But the last thing that Diana says to her mama is basically, "He didn't deserve to die. You the one that should be dead." So I already know that that's a setup for something, okay? While this is going on, they done found Braden's uncle, okay? Now, Braden found him the old-fashioned way. He just figured it out, I guess, knowing who his uncle is and knowing the properties his uncle owes. Tariq done paid somebody to find him. Now, Tariq putting his gloves on, which letting us know that he about to go up there and he about to take care of the uncle, right? But Braden is upstairs, and I knew as soon as I saw the setup what was getting ready to happen. The uncle is outside on the terrace, standing on the balcony, and him and Braden get to arguing, and Braden basically pushes him off the damn balcony, child. And I was just like, well, we saw that coming a mile away. Now, I don't know how that affects anything, because the FCC has already started investigating, and they're not going to stop just because the person that they suspect to be the one that killed them is gone. Like, they're not going to be like, not killed him, the one that stole the money. Oh, the uncle's gone? Oh, okay, well, we'll stop. No. Like, they're going to investigate the whole organization, because how do they know he was the only one that had anything to do with it? Now, it may, once again, save the RICO case, because now they don't have anybody to testify about the drug organization. But again, I don't know how that helps them, but whatever, child. Now, while this is going on, 2 Bits then rolled up on Tariq because he got a letter from Sachs. First of all, who the hell knew where 2 Bits was? 2 Bits been gone for 2 seasons, okay? How did anybody know where 2 Bits was? I just need to know. He lets Tariq know that Sachs told him where the mama was in the witness protection program. So he ends up stealing Tariq's car in exchange for the information. He calls old girl, the attorney, the black attorney. He ends up calling her, telling her, "Look, their location has been compromised. I need you to put some agents on it." And she was like, "Tariq, what are you talking about?" They have a whole conversation. Now, she don't even work for the government anymore. How does she have any pull on how many attorneys, how many guards are at the house? But neither here nor there. And how are they close enough for Tariq to get there? So next thing you know, Tariq then rolled up on the house, and Jasmine sees him. "Tariq, hey Tariq." The mama and Tasha inside arguing about letting Jasmine outside to play. And who comes rolling up? Tommy. So I guess Saxton sent Tommy a letter. How the hell did Sax know where Tommy was? Because Tommy, last time we checked, is in Chicago underground. He don't even have an address. How did Sax get a letter to Tommy? I'm just saying, y'all. Remember, he was living in that loft. Child. So anyway, Tommy rolls up on them, and he goes in there to kill Tasha. And him and Tasha are having a dialogue, and he lets Tasha know, "Look, I'm going to keep your mama and Yasmin alive, but you got to go." And she tries to give Tommy the whole, "We're family, why would you do that?" So then next thing you know, she's trying to back up because she got a gun hidden. But of course, Tommy is smart. He ain't stupid. They're doing this back and forth thing. Tariq comes in the house, and Tariq was like, Tommy, I'm not going to let you kill my mama. He was like, whatever. I mean, if I got to kill both of y'all, then I'll kill both of y'all. And they get to going back and forth. Next thing you know, a gun goes off, and we see Tariq in the hospital. I guess Tariq got shot, child. Actually, he's not dead. He got a head injury. And he's in the hospital, and they tell him your mama's missing. They didn't find her body, but your mama is missing. So that's the last thing we see is Tariq trying to get out the hospital bed. Child. I'll let y'all know what episode 10 is giving. Talk to y'all later. Peace.